What a day. I'm absolutely shattered. Yeah, so I was going to do a talk on, well, sort of how to be treated in a relationship and sort of spotting a narcissist, I think the word is. And just so anybody knows, I've had a bath. Not that you need to know I've had a bath. And I've just put little pigtails in. It does go in a ponytail, but it reaches pigtails more than anything, if you're wondering what these little things are. And I've actually got... Oh, sorry, I've got one of their Finn's stickers stuck to my sock, but I've actually got matching socks on. Ugh, for once. I can't get that sticker off my foot. It's a fire engine or something stuck to the bottom of my foot. I was just looking at these as well. Not that it's anything to do with what I'm talking about. Got these lashes. To get them off eBay. I'll have to do a tutorial on that in a bit about these. See what these lashes are like. I was just nosing at them. And they came in the post. I just opened them. And also, before I start, why is it when you're trying to be like stealth like ninja, when when Finn's in the front room playing, I've got a baby gate on the kitchen. I've got a sliding door, but we never don't really use it. So we have a baby gate on to keep him out, unless I'm in there with him, obviously, so he's not under the sink or touching the cooker or whatever. But if he hears the gate go, he's like right behind you like that because he wants to get, he knows where the biscuit cupboard is, you know, where all the treats are. And I was like, I thought, oh, so today he's like stood there watching telly and he was playing nice, and I thought, I'll just creep into the kitchen ninja style, stealth like, whatever the word is, sneak past, look through, because I've got glass in my door that I can see in the front room, look through, and he didn't notice. As soon as I got my foot over the gate, because I thought, I'll just put my leg, because I can get over it, I put my leg over the gate like a ninja stealth person. Didn't knock it or anything, he didn't hear it, he was behind me. I was just like, and like when I put him to bed the other night, he woke up, he's been having, I don't know if it's night terrors or he's been seeing, but something's been waking him up anyway, and he's sort of like, he can go and he's sort of still half asleep, but so I sort of leave him to cry because he does go off again because he's not like properly awake. But he's stroking the head because I think, oh, I'll stroke the head for a little bit, and then you're like, oh, I can't stand here all night like this. So I just sort of, you know, when you like you stop stroking the head and you're like, oh yeah, they're asleep, then you like ninja style out of the bedroom. I'm not trying to stand on my creaky floorboards, knowing where they are. Like, don't stand up. As soon as I open the door, because the carpet's a bit thicker in the door, sort of, well, it doesn't squeak, but you know when you're pulling it on the carpet, Mom, I'm like, go back again. Like, oh. But anyway, I don't know if this is going to come out right. But would you like my little well, it's not little, it's quite big. This bird cage with a candle in it, which I don't use. I like it because I got this bird cage, and actually it's apparently from Next. This was a few years back, but it was on the market, and I got it, and obviously it opens up, and I used to put candles in it, but now it's normally on my landing because these little twinkly lights I got from Primark. I don't know if it was beginning of last year. Little twinkly lights. I wrapped it round it, and because I think they're LED lights or something. I know they don't. Well, they do show up bright on here, but obviously when it's dark, they're really bright. So I normally put that on the landing upstairs, so I don't have to have my electricity going upstairs. Just so, not because Finn likes the light on, just so you can see, you know, a little bit upstairs when you go to the toilet, or whatever. But because they run on batteries, it's a bit of a saving tip there. But it does look quite pretty when it's upstairs. It is quite bright, so you can get all these little like fairy lights, and they've got like copper wire. I've got some up there as well. They're not on. Little fairy. I'll have to put them on next time on my fireplace up there. There's little butterfly ones up there, but it's a bit bright in here. I don't want to switch the lights down because the quality's not that good. So yeah, just if you're wondering if anyone asked. But yeah, so I was going to talk about. See if this comes out. I was in a relationship for a few years where this person was, I'd say at the beginning, you know, sort of quite charming, fun to be around, what I thought at the time. sort of be quite thoughtful and generous as in one time was a time when there's only little things like I was doing them colouring books, for when stress books, colouring book things supposed to relax you. Not that I got it for that, I just got it because I like the pictures. And oh no, it wasn't that. It was them and Zentangle they're called. If anyone knows what that is, that's like you make patterns up in patterns and you draw. That's like relaxing, sort of the same thing. And he got me some special pens for it. I think he got me like an art book to do it in or something. Being all nice and all that and stuff. And anyway, through this relationship, this person used to get a bit stressed over like silly things where I just used to think, no point getting stressed over that. And then in this relationship, this person used to put me down all the time. And because this person put me down all the time, I started believing that it was like I had something wrong with me, and the things he was saying to me, I started believing, oh, it must be true because like he's always saying it, and he never sort of really. I don't know. He just used to do it a lot, and he used to say the same things over and over again. So I used to think, oh, I don't know. He just broke me down really, and broke my confidence, and I don't know. It was weird because it's like I knew it was wrong, but I don't know why he had this. I don't know why he had this hold over me because I knew it was wrong because he used to do things like if we went out somewhere, he'd go on about going out and said we were going out, but then when we actually got there, and this says I was writing a few things down off someone. We'll have to put the lady who I just took a few notes from about it, but she's actually done a YouTube video about narcissists, dating a narcissist. I think it's Christine Pavlina, I think. I'll have to put it on at the end, link it. But and she was, I think it was her who was saying that, or it was on something else, I don't know. I took a few things, but you can look at hers when she went through a relationship with it. And like they say, when they go out and you're actually out with them, they sort of act like they're not with you because they want all the attention on them, and they don't really like it on them. They don't really like it on you, they like it on them because everything's always about them. So also, if you're having an argument with them, or because they don't even like if you're out and you were saying something jokingly, you're embarrassing, they don't like being embarrassed. They don't like, they're very into like, they're worried about what people think of them all the time. They're actually, they come across as confident, and but they're not really. They're like, they've got low self-esteem of themselves. But what they say is because someone said it on. I was reading something before. If you're like a mountain to them, like someone who's quite, like confident and outgoing, and you've got your thing going on, and you've got all these things in your life, and you're happy. They start dating you. I think they are attracted to that. But when they start dating you, it's like they need to be higher than that mountain, so they will break that mountain down, and they will break that mountain down. They'll pull that mountain down. So they right there because if you're up here and they're down there because they don't really think that much of themselves, even though you think they do, but they have got low self-esteem about themselves. They're not that confident as they make out they are. Because you're up there, they'll start bringing you down. It's like a scale, really. You're up there on the scale. They're down, him or her. It's him or her. Could be a woman or a man in either end of the relationship. You're up here with all your confidence and this, that, and the other, and you're quite happy and this and that. They start doing stuff and saying stuff all the time. So you're going like that, you're going down, and it sort of lifts them up because they get something out of making you feel crap and putting you down. Because if you're lower than them, then it's sort of in their head. I think it makes them a bit happy because you're lower than them. They do feel quite low about themselves, but if you're lower than them, then they're better than you. And all they really think about is themselves. And if you ever have an argument with one of them, and it is their fault, because we all argue, and sometimes we don't like to be wrong in an argument sometimes, and sometimes it is hard to say sorry, but mostly when you have an argument with them and you know it's their fault and they know it's their fault, they will never admit it. They will never, they will, you'll have an argument or you'll have a discussion about something, but because it's about them and say their behaviour about what they've said or done, and you're getting a bit sick of it and you're trying to tell them, they will twist it. So in the end, you're having this argument, but it's actually ended up on you that it's your fault again. It'll always be your fault. It will never be their fault. They'll twist it to say, yes, but that happened, or you did that because you, la 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 la. And I used to get told if I tried to say something, because normally I'm quite a soft person. I wouldn't say I'm that soft now, but I used to be. But this person's made me stronger, so it's good in a way. But I was quite a soft person where I didn't want to say anything because one, I knew they were going to kick off because they don't like it, and I just didn't really want to argue. But then I get to the point of like, I've got to say something because it's getting on my nerves. I need to say something. Should be able to say something, but then it'd just be like, well, you're a drama queen. You're a drama queen. Look, did he go and probably tell all his friends that I'm a drama queen? Oh, she did this, she did that. They start making things up as well, and they believe what they say. And they are liars. They do lie about stuff. They elaborate on things. It can be the jobs, cars, stupid thing like the job, cars, going to an elite gym or doing this, that, and the other because they have to make themselves sound really good. They're very like, because they're very into like what other people think, they're worried about what other people think. It's all about like, showmanship as well, you know, like I've got this, I've got that. Like he got this car, this sporty car. He's not got it now because he can't afford to run it, but it's all really for, oh, look at me, look what I've got. You know, like that makes me a better person because I'm driving around in a sportier car, or I wear these clothes, or I'm always throwing my money about when I'm out, you know, trying to look like I've got something and I'm good. Yeah, but you're not a good person. You might have a flashy car, you might have this, you might have that, but you're not a good person inside. That doesn't matter. It might look good to someone who, like, if they're trying to attract someone on the outside, like I'll say him to another woman, they might think, who don't really know him, oh, he's got a nice car, oh, his job, oh, he wears nice clothes, oh, he seems quite well together and confident and all this. Yeah, lure you in. To lure you in. But and in another sense as well, they can be cheaters as well because they like the flirting, and cheating would go along with it, I would say, because it's all that, oh, look at me, look what I am. They have like quite a high, what did I write down? They have quite a high opinion of themselves. And the sort of like, you're lucky to be with me. Because I got told that, like, oh, look at you, nobody will want you, sort of thing. You know, as if I was so lucky to be with him. If I wasn't with him, no one else would want me because look at the state of you. No one would want you. He'd say things like, you've got no friends, you're boring, you're this, that, and the other. The reason why I used to say that was I did have friends, but I don't class my friends as like, oh, I'm on Facebook with hundreds of friends. Oh, I've got, you know, do you know what I mean? Or I know her, but I don't really know her friend, but I'll class her as a friend. And that, no, I've got real friends that I've been friends with for 20 odd years. I've got two really good friends that I've been friends with for 20 odd years. I've got one friend that doesn't live near me anymore because like I was a lot older than him. I was 10 years older than him. So in my eyes, I've been around people who got married, had kids. So if that happens, you can't always be around your friends and doing this because they've got family and kids, and it's hard. And sometimes they move away. And I had a friend who moved away up Yorkshire way, and this that and the other. But one of my best friends lives up just over the road from me, really. And one of my other close friends, she lives about half an hour's drive in a car, I think. But you know what I mean. And then I've got some new friends that I've met as well that I've known for a few years, but I'm talking about ones that I've known for like 20 odd years, proper, you know me inside and out sort of thing. He classes friends as all the ones he sits in the pub with, and that's all they do. They just sit in the pub and drink and whatever. And just because I didn't want to go in a pub drinking all the time and just talking about the same crap all the time, sitting in the same pub all the time, I was boring. You know what I mean? When I actually went out sometimes and they all got that drunk, and because I wasn't that drunk, I'd sit back and think, God, he's boring. He's got no personality. He relies on other people to make him laugh. He isn't actually a funny person. He just sits there going on about a load of crap, and they're all sat there talking about the same thing every time they go out and doing the same thing every time they go out. And if I was like happy doing something at home, like learning nails or doing art stuff or something like that, I'd go away and think, oh, we'll go and do that upstairs or something. I'll get out of the way for a bit, because he never liked me doing anything like watching TV. Not watching my programmes on TV. It always brought what he was watching on TV, stuff like that. Like I'd record some stuff and he'd delete it all of it. He'd say I'm not watching that, but I had to sit there and watch all the stuff he wanted to watch, man stuff. I weren't bothered. Some of it I did like, but to me, in a relationship, it's 50-50. If you're in a proper grown-up relationship, it's 50-50. You share. I'd say, well, if I watch that tonight, we'll watch that tomorrow. If I watch this now for half an hour, then we'll watch your thing. It's not all one-sided all the time. You're in a relationship. There's a bit of give and take, and there's sacrifices as well. Sometimes you have to do things that you're not really into or you don't really like to make your partner happy, and you do the same. Call me old-fashioned, but that's how I think a relationship works. That's, in my eyes, that is how I think a relationship works. And also, going alongside that, if you're with somebody and you're supposed to love them, you've been with them a bit, and they're supposed to love you, married or not married, whatever, but you've been with them. If that person is supposed to love you and you're supposed to love them, wouldn't you be bigging that person up all the time? And I don't mean bigging that person up as in to give them a big head. It's just you'd support them. You'd want to make them happy. You wouldn't want to see that person crying or upset or doing everything out of your way possible to be spiteful and get your own back on your partner, because that seems to be what he did a lot, and I've never understood it. I don't get it. Totally don't get it. Why you just want to get your own back on your partner that you're supposed to love, because you're supposed to support and help each other. And if they're upset, you'd want to try and make them happy and vice versa. I just don't understand. And there is a thing of like, yeah, you do go out with your mates because it is nice to go out with your mates, and it is nice to go out together. So it's nice to have a date night. It's nice to see your friends because you need. It's like scales again. You need that. But also, like I've said before, I always thought I needed a man to make me happy, and realise now at the age of, I know I keep saying 40 next month, that I don't. And at the minute, I am quite happy on my own. I know it'll come. So before, I had a bit of a thing at Christmas, but it just wasn't for me because I know I'm not ready properly. But I've said to friends now, giving advice, it's not a woman or a man that makes you happy. Yeah, it's lovely to be in a relationship and that person does make you happy with things, but don't let that one person be your sole sort of thing for happiness, that person is the only thing that makes you happy, and you rely on that person to make you happy. You rely on that person to say, oh, we're going here, we're doing this, we're doing that. No, you go and do things that make you happy inside your soul. If you like going and seeing your friends, go and see your friends. I don't mean all the time, because you wouldn't going out every weekend without your partner. Have chats with your friends, go and take an art class at college if you like art, or learn things off YouTube's, educate yourself with different things. Always learning, always educating yourself with different things. I don't mean, things that you want to learn, that you're interested in. Watch documentaries, go out for walks. Just fill your soul up with stuff that you love. Don't rely on one person to just be like, oh my God, I've got to be around this person all the time because he makes me so happy. He actually doesn't make me happy. But if that person left, or you found out he was cheating or something, and you decided to think, and you're feeling a bit, and you've got nothing there to like sort of, because I have a lot to fill myself with now. Like I like YouTube, trying to get back on here again. I'm making journals. I'm doing my nail course. I'm always faffing about with bits of jewellery and stuff. I'm trying to, instead of sitting and watching the telly all the time, because that's boring me these days. Don't get me wrong, I am waiting for something to come on, actually, a film 4, I think it is, something. to chill out to a film. But I don't know if it's because I've got older, I like to learn stuff now, and I like to fill myself with stuff that I like to do, and I can say no now to people if I really don't. If it doesn't make me happy inside, I'm not doing it. And the thing is, so with this again, with a narcissist, they say that because they hold themselves up here, and really they're always thinking about themselves. If you're with a narcissist, I would say that they only really think of you, or when they're sort of doing something for you, it's mainly because they're getting something out of it. They're going to get something out of it and get their way with something because they just think about themselves all the time. And like I said, when you're having an argument, they will twist it round to where the argument ends up being put back on you, where it was your fault that this, whatever you had an argument about started, or the thing that you're bringing up. And then you start believing it's actually you, and you're thinking, oh, right. And I got that low about things because he used to put me down all the time, calling me different names, just loads of horrible things. And doing that thing of like, look at the state of you, no one would want to get with you, you're boring, you're this, that, and the other. Classed as boring because I'm not an alcoholic, basically. I don't drink all the time, and I don't actually need to drink myself stupid like he used to and still does to get a personality. Don't need to do that. I'm quite happy because the thing is, I'm the sort of person, don't get me wrong, I used to when I was younger. My God, I used to get into right states, my mum could tell you. But now, I don't drink in house, so I just don't feel the need to drink in house. I know some people do it to calm down, or like relax at the end of that. I don't, I go and craft or do my nails. That's how I relax, that's what I'm happy with. If I have a drink in the house, God, it'll last like a couple of years for me. And when my friends come around, I was like, Janine, drink your wine or drink your whatever, and it takes me ages because I'm normally yakking. I like yakking. But I do drink when I go out, but I'm at that stage where I know when I've had enough, I don't have to drink myself into stupidness. I just get giddy, and that's enough, and that's fine. That's not being boring. I know how to handle my drink, and I know how much I need, and I'm a chatty person anyway. I don't need a drink to sort of be chatty and have a personality, basically. But he just used to say things like that, and it was just like I started believing that I was worthless and that everything must have been my fault. Like, if something happened and he snapped at me, I'd think, oh God, it was my fault because I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have put a programme on I wanted to watch because then he was snapping at me and this, that, and everything. It was just, it was just horrible. I don't know. I'm looking on here and I'm trying to. I mean, it says on here they actually like to have compliments, and if you're not feeding them that, move on to the next sort of person. You give some compliments because I'd say they're the sort of person like when you're out with them, like I said before, they'll act like they're not with you because obviously if there's other girls there looking at him, he sort of wants to make out he's not with you because there's other people watching, and it's all to do with that what they're thinking of him and stuff like that, and he has to look like he's the what's the word, I don't know, that he's sort of free or something, that he could get the women if he wanted to, like, cause it's all about him basically. It's just selfishness and the bullies as well, bullies and they're abusive with the mouths. I said that to him once and he was like, oh, what book have you been reading? No, you're abusive. The stuff that comes out of your mouth is disgusting. I've never heard so much like vile stuff come out of someone's mouth that you're supposed to be with as a partner to each other, and you're just saying the most hurtful things. And surely you must get a kick out of seeing your girlfriend crying and upset most of the time. I would be more, why wouldn't you want to see your girlfriend or your boyfriend smiling? Why the hell would you want to see them crying and upset all the time, knowing that you've done that? Does that make sense? Knowing you've made your boyfriend or girlfriend cry and be upset and feel like shit, you get something out of that. I mean, that just doesn't think in my head that. You'd want to see them smiling, be more proud of, oh, my girlfriend's always happy, she's always got a smile on her face. Oh, that's because of me, not, God, she's so miserable. But then, like, the thing he said you were, you're boring, you're miserable, you're this, you're that. you start being like that because you're like, oh, I don't want to do this because like you might thinking like you're walking on eggshells all the time, walking on eggshells, and then you probably start becoming a bit boring because you don't want to say anything, you don't want to question him where he's going if he's doing this because he'll just snap at you and like I don't know, but they'll also tell other people. They'll tell people lies and they'll tell people, like I said, they'll twist it to make it sound like it was you who started the argument. You're a psycho. You're a drama queen because look at her. She's going off red. She went off red because of this. You end up going off your head and getting mad because you want to say something to them, explain to them. They don't listen. They only want to hear what they want to hear. You try and say something, they don't want to know. They don't want to know. I don't know if that's making any sense, but they are very. If you ever get in a relationship with a narcissist, I'd just run the other way. I'd see it now because I know what it is, but honest to God, go and Google narcissist and you'll see what it is because they're just absolutely full of shit. Like I said, it's like when they're talking to you, they'll say, like he used to call me fat all the time, even when I was slimmer, but women go up and down in that, but he used to say horrible stuff and this, that, and the other. And the thing is, he drinks quite a bit and he's got a big fat beer belly. And I would never dream of saying that to him, like, oh, you've got a big fat... I wouldn't say it because it'd hurt his feelings, yet he'd say it to me. But the thing is, all the stuff they call you, and he'd say other things like, oh, you're worthless, you're this, that, and the other, you're boring, blah, blah, blah. You've got no mates. It's actually, when I think about it now, it's a mirror reflection of how they feel about themselves. They tell you it's you, but it's not, it's them. Everything he said to me, I look back now and think, that weren't me. That's how he feels about himself. It was even a bit ago, something was said, and I'm not going to go into it, but about him being out or something, and he turned around and said, oh, you're always out, I'm always in, and I thought, I'm never out. I've got a fin. I hardly ever got. I always say to friends, I need to get out more. I haven't been out. I haven't been out. I haven't been out for ages. My next night out, apart from a couple of dates I went on at Christmas when I was sort of seeing someone there, and I was seeing someone there, went out on a couple of dates, but apart from that, before that, I've not had the money, I've just not been out. The next night out I'll have is in February because it's my birthday, but I do need to start getting out more. But when he said that to me, I just thought, oh my God, how can you sit there and say that I'm out all the time? How can I be out all the time? I've got a kid who's nearly 2. I'm always in. I'm a single mum, and I'm always in most of the time. I don't need to be out all the time, but how dare you say I'm out all the time and he reckons he never goes out when I know for a fact he's out every other weekend. It's just, just infuriates me. It's like I said, if you're with somebody who is upsetting you most of the time than they're making you happy, because like I said, we all have arguments. We all get paid off sometimes when we've been around each other too much sometimes. I'm not saying you need to go and see your friends, and you do need to do separate things away from each other. Not all the time, because obviously there's no point being together because it'd be like we never do anything together, we're never together. So, it's like I said, 50-50. You do need to see your friends, you do need to go out and have a laugh with your friends, but you do need to do things with partners. Everything's got to be, smoothly running together and 50-50 and, a bit of both. So you're not like, then you can't turn around and go, you're always with me, I'm always with you, we never do anything apart, I'm getting bored because I feel like we're in each other's pockets all the time. Because it does feel like that sometimes. Just like, God, I need a bit of a break. Because you do start getting on each other's nerves if you're constantly with each other. It's like you can't breathe. But if you're with someone who constantly wants to go out all the time, talks to you like crap, doesn't want you to, like, not letting you do stuff in your own home, like watch programs you want to watch, constantly just wants to watch what they want to watch, basically selfish, and he's acting like they're not with you when they're out, and doesn't really defend you if anyone's saying something. He's being disgusting, like, liking loads of girls' things on Facebook, like, different girls, probably don't even know half of them, but they don't really speak to you, or like any of your stuff, or because basically they're acting like they're not with you. Basically, if someone's making you unhappy and you're walking on eggshells, just don't sit there and think you can change them because you can't. My experience, you can't. If someone's like that and they've been like that for a few years, I doubt they're ever really going to change. They're set in their ways, and they shouldn't really be in a relationship, because to me, a relationship is about, you know, taking it in turns, respecting each other. It's respect, loyalty. Sorry. Yeah, respecting each other. You've got to have respect for each other. You've got to be loyal to each other if you're in a relationship, because if you're not, there's no point in being together. Why? You might as well just be single and do what you're going to do. You know, and it's just, and you've got to share stuff. I know I'm just rambling here and I don't really know what I'm talking about, but it just annoys me, because I don't know how people can just expect to have everything go their way all the time. But the big thing is, if you ever split up with them, or they finish you finish them, they will take no responsibility whatsoever for anything that's happened, maybe due to why you split. They'll take no responsibility. They will tell everyone it's your fault. I know that happened to me as well. They will tell everyone it's your fault. If you finish them, they'll tell everyone that they finished you. But they will take no responsibility. They get prepared. They will call you every name under the sun and go on and on and still make you feel like crap when they've called it off, because it's your fault and it happened because it was your fault. We split up because this, and this, because it's your fault, because you're a drama queen and you're this, and this. They will take no responsibility for anything in that relationship of why you split up. And then they'll go on to the next person. They'll do all the charming thing that they do, buying big flowers and buying tickets to go somewhere and all that elaborate bit at the beginning. They'll do all that, reeling you in, and then they'll start, and then they'll do it to the next person. And then when that ends, they'll take no responsibility for that either. Because anything they do, even if they're aggressive, angry, whatever, any of it will be, well, if they hit you, anything, it's your fault because you did this. Or if they say this horrible, abusive words, it'll be, yeah, but you're always doing this. It'll be your fault every single time. Every single time. So, I don't know. I've not explained that properly. No, I haven't. But Google narcissist and you'll see all the stuff. And I'm sure the lady I was looking at was called, do you know it was Christine? I'm sure it's Pavlina, Pavlina, and then it was, are you dating a narcissist? Because all it is with them is self. All they're asked about is themselves. Don't give a second thought, like I said. As long as you're giving them what they want and they're getting what they want all the time, or they're being nice to you because they're doing it for a reason, because at the end of it, it's because they're getting their own way, the way they do it. And when you're not letting them get their own way, or they're getting what they want, you just watch what comes out. You watch how nasty they are, and it's all your fault at the end of the day. So, yes, so that's that. Don't know if any of that made sense, as I always say. I don't know, but I'm tired tonight. But yeah. And then I was trying to think of what talk I said I was going to do. I was going to do another confidence one as well. I saw something on surgery the other day, and I'm not even going to say about it now. This surgery thing I was watching, and I thought, oh my God, I need to speak about that. But I shall do that another day, because I think I'm going to have a rest tomorrow. I've got a few things to do tomorrow. I don't forget, you might think you change this person. I wouldn't say you can, but if you're someone who thinks you've got I can't even say it, narcissistic ways, can't say it. Not that I don't know if you were narcissistic, if you know, because it's all about you, but you probably can get help for it, and you probably can change if you sort of, I don't know, got therapy or something. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know if any of you know what I mean, or you've dated someone, or you think you're sort of in that relationship where, someone's constantly putting you down all the time. Because it's like, as well, when I look back now, it's like, he wasn't this big I am person. He wasn't a fun person to be around. He didn't have a good personality, really. He just relied on other people. And he they think they're better than everyone else as well. They'll like, they'll put other people down, and they don't like, oh, what was they saying? They don't like, what was it? They don't like, you don't like, they'll judge people. They don't like people judging them. Was it that? Something to do with that. Because they don't anyway. They'll judge people and they will call people, but they don't. They hate it when someone's doing it to them. It's like they can give out a lot. He used to give out a lot to people, take the piss out of people. But if they did it back to him, oh, he didn't like it. But then again, the truth hurts, doesn't it? When people say stuff. But yeah, they basically really just have low self-esteem, but they'll put it all on you. So yeah, I've just rambled on too much because I'm tired and I don't even know if that made any sense. So I'm going now, and I shall see you when I see you next. And I'll definitely be seeing you on Wednesday for Positivity Wednesday, vision boards. And also as well, if you do watch Positivity Wednesday, if you can always text me on YouTube and say if you want me to talk about something or ask me a question, or do you want me to bring I forgot about my little cauldron. Do you want me to bring my cauldron back if anyone saw the last ones where I'll burn any negative feelings or whatever, you know, when I was doing that little thing in the card reading? Do you want me to still do that, or is anybody bothered, or do you want to ask me any questions? Do you think it'd be good if I did live stream one time, if I can live streaming, is it called, later on? Would that be good? I don't know. Let me know anyway. Bye.